Hello, I'm Chandra Cost and I'm with Beacons of Light. And today I have Andrea Lynn Jones, and I'll let you take it away.
Hi, as you said, I'm Andrea Lynn Jones. I have a couple ways to get a hold of me. You can reach me on Linktree, Andrea Lynn Jones, artist. I do many different things. I'm certified in many modalities to help you with your chakra system, your vagus nerve system. I do a lot of intuitive readings, card readings. I honor both the shadow and the light side of everyone, but I do believe my strong belief is the only way to be a teacher is if the student arrives. So you can't just force anything on anyone. You have to actually have someone who's willing to want to help and heal themselves. And then you never know. You never know who your role model is.
Yeah,
So you just always honor yourself and be true to what you believe in, and you touch more people than you ever will know.
yes, that's true. I
So
believe
I'm
it.
happy. I'm happy to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
Oh, I'm very happy to have you. Thank you for accepting. And if you want to go ahead and just maybe start with your spiritual journey, if at all there is a beginning, or however you want to go about it and what you want to share, would be great.
Well, I believe that it's been going on since I've been as long as I can remember. My first memory, and let me just say, I want to preface everything by, you know, we change through learning, and through a lot of learning comes through devastation and failure, and challenging stuff. So I can remember my earliest memory is I think five or six when you were going to start school, and I got all dressed up, and I thought, oh my gosh, it's fantastic. I'm going to meet people who are going to get me into this great place, and it was all about vaccines. And boy, I remember something flipped in my head, and I threw what was probably one of the worst, I can still remember it to this day, fits where I was throwing stuff, using curse words. um but I can also remember that feeling in my body, that switch, and I said, wow, look at me controlling all of these people with my actions. I mean, it was like really
Right.
a powerful point. And so from there, I just knew I was going to challenge everything in my life, and I just honestly did. I read a lot as a young kid. There were a lot of things on my bookshelves growing up at 9 and 10 years old, like Leo Biscaglia, who I absolutely adore, and Wayne Dyer, I'm okay, you're okay. But at the same time, there was like The Exorcists, and stuff that was frightening and still a mystery. So it's almost like all of that combined within me over these years. And I'm 55, and I've had a few near death experiences. I've had everything that everybody can even imagine that would happen to you to cause an awakening and an ascension.
Right.
So I feel like that's happened to me many, many times. I don't feel like I'm still trying, still trying. I feel like every person is always on their path. It's not like you have to search for it, look for it. It's right under your feet.
Yep.
It's your path, and you figure out, whether you climb the tree and you wait and you heal, or you just keep going on, or what happens. But you definitely need people, you need guidance, and you need assistance. And one of the biggest things to learn is to ask
Yeah.
and to trust. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I grew up in a place where I knew everybody. I knew my great 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 aunt and my great great uncle, and I know my great great grandfathers were, ministers in the Brethren, which is almost like an Amish Mennonite community. I can remember having very strict upbringing, and at the same time very loose upbringing. Um, but very hardworking people that lived off the earth. So I also learned a lot about nature and herbs and healing medicines, and it just always seemed to culminate. So at this point in my life, I choose to. I don't know if I choose or if it chose me, but a lot of times I find myself drawn to those people who are at the same level as myself, almost like we've ascended. We've already known we've ascended. We've gone way beyond the realms, but we're back here for a reason. And we're just like, I know we need to help someone, but sometimes we don't want to help people.
Right.
Sometimes we want to help everybody,
Yeah. Yes.
you know? So it's like a warrior mode, and
Yeah.
beautiful. But I do a lot of, I call myself an artist, and I also call myself a master and a minister of ceremonies, because I do have my certification in the Universal Life Ministries, so I can perform weddings and funerals and all of that stuff. I'm a photographer. I do many things, but right now I'm concentrating on helping people get to through their soul journey, so to speak. So I'm creating these pictures. It just came out. They're acrylics on canvas, and it's a soul portrait, and it comes with a reading, an oracle crystal card reading for
Wow.
that person. And it just kind of organically happened, and it's just really something that's benefiting a lot of people. And it's weird because it's benefiting a lot of people, and here it's also benefiting me because I'm the artist. It's magical.
Yeah, I've never heard of that. That's very interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I'm sitting around it right here. I'm just like looking at it like, this is so cool.
Oh, wow.
I'll give you a little peek of.
I would love that. Oh, yeah. Beautiful.
I think that's Archangel Gabriel.
Yeah.
Still a work in progress.
Yeah, I like it.
And then they're different. This is one that definitely a soul journey more than a portrait.
Right. Beautiful.
Peacock. So yeah, it's cool that when the universe, well, I guess what I want to say is one of the biggest lessons I've learned up to this point, and I think one of the reasons I reached out, because I have been kind of off of my sites lately for the past few years. I had some stuff go on, a devastating divorce. I was on the top of my game, but at the same time, I was still telling the universe I was second in certain ways, my actions, what I was doing. And the universe follows. I was so happy and elated and helping everyone and still putting myself second. So the universe, like, well, she must like that.
Yeah.
Boom, you're second.
Yeah.
And it's taken about 3 years for me to change that in a way where I'm first.
Yeah. Self-healing.
And I'm honoring.
Yeah. Yep.
Because there's no way to help anyone else unless you actually love and honor yourself first. It's just not, it's impossible to me to think of that.
Right. That's true. Yeah. I like that. Self-healing and number one.
Yes.
Yeah, very, very important. Do you want to cover any well, because you do shadow work, you said, and light work, and before you do your photos or any of that, do you do anything to get you ready to do any of that, or?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'd love to hear about it.
It's still about honoring. I believe our body is our temple.
Right.
And your mind, body, spirit is connected to all the energy of the earth and beyond.
Right.
So I say a prayer that I made up, and it's so funny. It's a combination of like the Lord's Prayer. It's like, our Father who art in heaven, our Mother who art on earth. I'll keep the rest private just because it's part of my ceremony, but I do incorporate new things and ancient techniques into what I do. I do have little altars that I set up, and if I know I'm doing something specific for a person, here's an example. If I'm doing like a love reading for someone, I'll take a pink candle and I'll write certain things or etch certain pictures on it and light that during the reading for them. I usually cleanse whatever space I'm in, and I always say a prayer that dear angels, I always pray to my angels, allow me to hear and receive messages with full clarity for my highest good and the good of those who are around me. So that almost cleanses our space too, and just makes me feel pulled into my space.
Right.
And then that's what I can think. I usually am about rituals. So I bathe on a regular basis with salts and crystals and meditations and oils, and it's very important to me to do those things for myself in order to be able to recharge for other people.
Yeah. Yeah. 'Cause it can be very emotional working with other people, and to make sure you are not carrying their stuff, their burdens, or everything. So you must be an empath too, I would assume.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that took me a while. In fact, speaking of reaching out to people, there was a wonderful healer. Her name was April Fontana, and she died recently. She's the Oracle healer. She did do some healings for me. I was suffering from some chronic Crohn's and colitis disease, and at the time I was needing extra help, and she was just amazing. And she taught me a mental cleansing visual, and I think anyone could Google April Fontana YouTube cleansing, and it starts with your crown chakra, and it's a form of imagining of a light washing your body clean, and it's then you seal and protect, and you can do whatever you want. So I visualize myself doing that, and then at the end I'll do like two-way mirrors or different things down. So if I feel like I'm going somewhere, that's going to protect me, but I have the advantage. It's me,
Right.
because what else matters? No one.
Right. Yeah.
You're the most important. I do follow Don Miguel Ruiz too. You know, I read his book, The Four Agreements, a long time ago. And that just, they're very simple. It's always do your best.
Yeah.
Sounds simple, but that is hard.
Yeah.
Make assumptions, which, oh my gosh, that goes with judging and shaming yourself and blaming it. And that's hard for everyone.
Yeah.
Um,
That's true.
don't take anything personal is the third one. And the fourth one is, it's probably one I'm working on. That's why I can't think. Be impeccable with your words.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Words matter. And how you talk to yourself is important.
And I'll tell you, it doesn't even have to do with intention. People think, oh, it's the emotion and the feeling behind the word. Absolutely not. If you've ever heard of Dr. Emoto, Dr. Mauricio Emoto, he worked a lot with water.
Yeah.
And one of his experiments, he literally took rice and put 2 jars and just wrote on a piece of paper love on one and hate on the other and stuck it on the jar and said nothing, did nothing. The one with the love grew and the one with the hate did not. So without intention, without anything, just the word affected.
Wow.
It's
Yeah.
incredible. You know, and you think about our bodies too, we're completely water. So of course we're going to be affected by all of nature,
Yeah.
just like the tides, just like you're going to be affected by everybody else's electromagnetic pull, because our aura is about 3 to 6 feet, depending on how big you are.
Yeah.
You're going to mesh with everyone. No, not these days. I think we're all missing out. But
Right. I do agree with you. Um,
yeah,
so you kind of covered a little bit, but people that have helped you along the way, great experiences that you've had that you'd like to share, if any?
absolutely. I'm a really big proponent in going to community gatherings as well. I think it's really important to gather with people who are like-minded and are
Yeah.
interested in the same things as you are. And sometimes that's hard to do, but I started going to, I was like, oh, I like that author. Let me go check it out. So fast forward, I've been to quite a few sacred conferences, I want to say. Kyle Gray is he's an angel expert. I've been at one of his angel team members since I think 2016 or 17. I went to the UK and studied at one of his workshops with
Wow.
Gordon Smith, who's also an amazing medium. If you don't know Gordon Smith,
Yes, I do.
he's incredible.
Yeah.
Barber turned medium. I mean, messing with your crown. Woo! The two of them together. Yeah.
Yeah.
He taught me a lot. I also went to Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York, and met up with Kyle, and we and our original angel tribe got together there, and it was so amazing. It was under 40 people, and it was powerful. That's been powerful.
Right.
Yeah, and like I said, Leo Biscaglia, you know, I loved his writings. Gosh, it's hard. You know, Louise Hay, she started Hay House, of course. And I just mentioned Dr. Mari Soimoto. He's amazing to me.
Right.
He is amazing, all his works. The Bible's an amazing work as well. That really got me researching and studying.
Yep.
I just couldn't figure out where all the women were in the Bible, and that's what just kept me pushing and trying to challenge. And I read a book called The Red Tent,
Yes.
and that changed my life. Yeah, so those are just a few. There's many, 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 because obviously I've been doing this for so long. I can remember being really young and having to interview someone, and I thought, I'm going to interview the lady that knows how to do biorhythms and biofeedback down the street. And I think I was like, I always did these things that everyone thought, what is this crazy kid doing? And I'm
Yeah.
just lucky and blessed that I had great parents that allowed me to just keep
Oh,
on with it,
that's good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that you speak of community, because that is so important, having support behind you. And not everybody has that, sadly, but hopefully they'll find it. If not through this page, somehow.
I agree with you. And even this platform, the Zoom platform, is even a
Yeah.
good way
Yeah.
to gather, and you can gather internationally. I have friends from all over the world because of going together, and then you go back and you have Messenger and Zoom and just so many things at our fingertips. We're super lucky and blessed.
Yeah. We are. We are. Um, and so, like, are there any things that you've learned that you wouldn't do that maybe somebody has done to you, like morally or responsibility wise, or like when you're working with people, rules maybe that you follow? Do you have, maybe not, um,
Well,
an example? and
the only
maybe
thing,
you don't, maybe it's just something you do naturally.
yeah. Well, the only thing popping into my head right up front is a dollar sign. So, you know, I think the talk of money on this topic is really important too, because I, for a long time, said, oh, no, I'm not taking any money for this. I want to help everyone. I want to do everyone. And that's kind of like telling the universe you're second.
Right.
And the universe says you're second. And
Right.
then you've got to fight to be first. And so it is a reciprocity. And I think money is just an energy. My one tip of advice would be, you do not have to spend one dime to start your awakening experience.
Yeah.
Only once you've decided, hey, that is definitely for me,
Yeah.
is when I suggest you put money in. And when I say put money in, you go, let me buy that book, let me buy this book, and let me pay some money to go to a group gathering and see if I like that person when they speak. It's crazy to me that people are spending, and I'm not going to call anyone out, but spending monthly fees for somebody to tell them every day to smile. That is just no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that the reciprocity is a little out of skew. And the only other thing I can think of is to just be very, if you're going to go out there and you're going to help people, you should just always be very careful not to tell someone how they are feeling and how they should think,
Right.
because no one knows. And it's no one's business. It's not even your own business what other people think of you,
Right.
basically.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a personal journey, no matter what.
Yep, that's true. I like that. Thank you.
Sure.
Is there anything we haven't covered? Advice you want to give? I don't know.
Gosh, I feel like I have so many things I wanted to talk about, but yeah, you can always find me and reach me, and I love to share everything,
Yeah.
or help in any way I can. The next thing I'm going to do that I'm really excited about that's fun in March is, because we haven't had gatherings in so long.
I know.
Ugh. But I love following the Sundancer Lakota tribe, and they are part of my Star Knowledge Conference group. And we met 11/11/17, I think it was, and had just powerful experiences in Amarillo Falls, Georgia. And they're meeting at they're doing a peace summit on the Serpent Mound at the March 20th and 21st, which is going to be amazing, magical speakers, artists. And this is like a 2,000-year-old, one of the oldest monolithic, I don't know if it's burial mounds on the earth in America. It's on the edge of a crater, an ancient meteorite crater in Ohio.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And it's all about peace. And there's been a big maypole donated from Japan that's going to be blessed at that time. So
Wow, that sounds amazing.
yeah, the energy. Oh, I just love being with people. I miss people, you know.
Yeah, I do too. Like-minded people.
Yes.
Let's put that in there.
Yes. There
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, I don't know. I don't have any other questions, I guess, for you, but I want you to make sure that you have covered whatever it is. We kind of spoke a little bit before we started recording, and maybe you don't want to share any of that, but whatever's fine. And if not, we can go over your services again or whatever.
Sure. Gosh, I'm a ceremony facilitator. I've lately been doing a lot of grief ceremonies, and these are, can be through Zoom, or if you go to my YouTube page, you'll see examples of that too, of my readings and what services that I've done for other people. A lot of my stuff is private, so it's hard to explain.
Right.
I do have a gift of just actually understanding and feeling what that person is feeling, and helping them to open and feel comfortable enough to figure it out on their own, and then I'll be like, hey, whoa, 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 and it'll be like a beaming off.
Right.
Yeah. So just reach out. I would suggest to anyone to just reach out. And if you are afraid to reach out, you can still do your own prayer and your own meditation in your own way. And just remember that, hey, we're all a piece of God. So if you're not honoring yourself, you're not honoring your God.
Right. I like that. You word that very wonderful.
Thanks.
A good interpretation. Wow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's about trust. I know we talked about that earlier, and a lot of people don't trust themselves.
Yeah.
We a lot of times think about what we've done, and we want to blame and shame ourselves and try to figure out why we did it and how we can do better. And that's just not conducive to living in the present, because you're not when you're blaming and shaming. And if you're worried and panicked, you're living in the future, and that's not living in the present either. And it's a real hard thing to actually be completely present.
Yeah.
And so if you are afraid to reach out, I suggest you just look in the mirror every day like Louise Hay did, and just tell yourself you love yourself until you actually believe it, because it does take a long time to believe it.
It does.
And trust, like I said, there's obsidian discs and they look pure black, like from a lava. You can't see through it, but thin enough. You put it to your eye and you see pure light through it. And it's just anywhere you are, you see darkness, one quick spark of love, just boom, eradicate so much darkness. It's never going to work. It's never, ever going to work the other way. You can't go into a whole room of dark, of enlightened, beautiful, loving people and have one negative force. Forget it.
Yeah.
Never, ever, ever has that been witnessed on the earth in any scientific, physics, or any spiritual form. It just doesn't work.
Right. I like that too.
It's a beacon of light, right?
Yes. Yes. I love it.
Yes. Be your own beacon of light.
Yes, everyone should be. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, wonderful. Do you want to go over your services again? And this time you can go into as much as you like or whatever. Your
Right now, I've been concentrating, like I told you, portraits, soul portraits for people with a mini reading. If you're interested in that, we can absolutely do that. I also do readings as well. I don't know if anybody's in my area. I live in upstate New York, around the Binghamton area, but I'm a certified aroma touch therapist.
Oh,
And
wow.
I also am a master level Usui Reiki master with, I bring in angels, crystals, oils,
Wow.
or none of the above. I use doTERRA oils with aroma touch. So I'm a hands-on person. I'm
Right.
also a metaphysical person. I do private therapies of neuro-linguistic programming and cognitive language behavior to yourself. I've taught people how to tap. All these modalities I became certified in because I wanted to use them for myself and I wanted to be the best at it that I was. So I really don't do a lot of that for anyone, but if anyone needs that,
Yeah.
I can guide you in that direction or I can help you learn how to do it.
Right.
Um,
Wonderful.
so I'm here for you. And you can find me, Andrea Lynn Jones on Facebook. I have Sacred Spaces with Andrea on Facebook. I'm on Instagram. I'm called Mamarazzi, like instead of paparazzi, it's Mamarazzi
I like
because
that.
I'm also a photographer. And then Linktree, Andrea Lynn Jones artist. So reach out.
Yeah, I like that. Well, we will try to get all the information in the link too to find you and
Sure.
make it easy for everybody. Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me. This was awesome.
Oh, thank you so much for agreeing to do it. You're going to help a lot of people and just amazing. You're interesting. I like listening to you and
Thank
visiting.
you.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you, if anybody feels the same way, go to my YouTube channel. There are hours and hours and hours and hours and hours of me. I think going back to 2012 when I actually started talking about crystals and I would research everything. Like I'd bring in, I don't know, examples from the Bible, like what Aaron's crystals were on his shield and what those crystals meant and how that could relate to certain things. So very cool videos. And I have a lot of information on my YouTube channel. So
Wow.
go
That,
play around.
yeah, I'm going to. Thank you. All right. Well, thank you so much for the interview. And I'm sure we'll do this again.
Sounds great. Thanks, Chandra. Have a great night.
Yep. Thank you.